Mordhau, is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Mordhau is a multiplayer medieval slasher. Create your mercenary and fight in brutal battles where you will experience fast-paced combat, castle sieges, cavalry charges, and more. I've never been much of a fighter. Apologies for what you're about to see, guys. Yes, guys, that was Sir Davos's line from Game of Thrones. He's my favourite character in Game of Thrones. And can I just say, before I go any further, what the actual was Season 8, Episode 3, Charging the Death Threat? What the So yes, guys, this is Chivalry kind of version 2. It's the spiritual successor to Chivalry. It's not made by the same developers as Chivalry, and it's obviously not called Chivalry. It's called Mordhau, which is pretty much badly pronounced by me, but it's the name is given to a grip that you would have on your sword that knights used, where they would hold the actual blade of the sword and batter people in with the hilt because they had armour on. It was easier to get through armour. It was like using a mace essentially rather than a blade. It's a grip you can use in the game. I've only kind of discovered the grip's use in the last 10-15 minutes of playing, so you might not even see any footage of that in the game, but it doesn't really matter. This is a £20 game and it plays very similar to Chivalry, but it's pretty much better than Chivalry in every way, shape and form, and I would expect that because Chivalry was made years ago. It's an ancient game and this is a new game, so I want it to be better, I expect it to be better, and it is. It looks nicer as well. It's got great sound as well, and the weapons feel really meaty. The combat is fantastic in this, and can I just say, I've never laughed so much for years as I have playing this game. This last 2 days I've just been laughing me tits off while playing it because it's so freaking funny, as well as being a serious skill-based sword game. It has laugh out loud moments all the time. I mean, just swinging your sword around and taking the heads off everybody on your team that's nearby accidentally. I've done that at least 3 times. I was on a horse and I came past a guy and I just cut him in half. He was my own teammate and I didn't realise. I just get so carried away. I found 3 people headbanging with lutes, just like playing lutes behind a hay bale. I've been attacked off people with loots. I've decapitated people with loots. It's just so damn funny, this game, but it is so skillful as well. There's some amazingly good players in this. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, but I did come top once, which kind of surprised me. But you can still play, even if you're not that good, and I'm not very good. You can still have fun in this game, and that's why I like it. It's not just about people who just are naturally good at these kind of games. So let's look at the combat system first. Now, the combat is totally different to anything I've played before, and I kind of wish that Kingdom Come Deliverance had adopted this kind of combat. Essentially, you have a little cursor in the middle of your screen, and wherever you move your mouse, press your button, you will attack in that direction. So you can attack in any direction you want, really, which is fantastic. Now, blocking wise is simplistic. You don't have to block in the same direction that the enemy is attacking you, which you do in the likes of Kingdom Come Deliverance and other games. This one is just a generic right mouse button, but you can't just hold your right mouse button down, or whatever button your block is. You have to time it at the right time. You can also immediately press attack as you connect with your block to do a parry. So that's a nice little move you can do as well. There's also chambering, there's morphing, there's dodging, there's dragging, and there's accels. There's lots of different moves that you can do in this. For example, when you normally do just a left swipe, for example, you can accelerate that by just moving your mouse in the direction that the blade's going to go. And then if you start your next attack while that's happening, you can combo one in, say, the other direction and accelerate that. And this game, the meta in this game is for aggression. Now, this is why I don't do that good in it, because that's not how I've ever played. I'm very kind of standoffy. I'm not the kind of guy that just wades in and goes mental with combos. And if you are that kind of guy, you will do very well in this game because it kind of favours that version of fighting. I'm more of a just kind of trying to weigh up what he's going to do, a little bit of parrying, a little bit of feigning and all that, and I just like go in and hit once, then I come back, and I have to get out of that mindset or I'll never get really good at this. I have to kind of capitalize when I have the advantage, and I don't, I kind of pull back. But I still have great fun. And you know, you can still do well, and it's not about whether you come top or not. It's about having fun. That's what games are about. I mean, you're not like going to get a medal if you come top. You know, you play this game to have fun, and it is so much fun. You've got so many different game modes as well. You've got Frontline, which is an objective-based tug of war, and you can play this against bots as well, but the bots are a bit shit. It's basically capture and hold various areas of the battlefield. There's a few different maps for this as well. I wish there was more, but there's just a few. I think there's about 5, and you have different objectives that you have to do. Smash these, defend that, push the cart, and all that kind of stuff. There's also a Horde mode, which is the co-op versus the AI, and the hordes get bigger and bigger, like, you know, in Call of Duty Zombies kind of thing, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, the maps aren't really dedicated Horde maps, and the AI can't get to you in certain places, a lot of places, so you can just kind of camp there with a bow and arrow, which, yeah, it's a bit shit. It needs fixing. It needs a lot of work, that. There's the Battle Royale mode, which I haven't played yet because I could never get in. I would just sit. The matchmaking's awful at the moment, and there's a lot of things wrong with this at the minute, which I'll come to. So I haven't tried that. I've tried Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch. Not really for me. And there's also a skirmish mode that was quite good, where if you die, you're out, and you know, and it goes down to the team that's left with players. So that's good. But I've played pretty much all of my time, about 12 hours I've played this in the Frontline objective-based tug of war. It's fantastic, guys. And what makes it is the combat, like I mentioned before. It's really good. There's also horses. You can get on horses. You can use lances. You can just ride around, galloping around. And the horse play is fantastic as well. Absolutely love it. You can be an archer, crossbow. You can be an engineer. You can make structures as you defending, or you can destroy structures of the enemies. There's also trebuchets that you can fire. There's a lot of stuff to make this game really, really fun, and with 64 players on a server, it can get very, very brutal out there. Let's quickly talk about the characters. You create your own character, or you can use a preset of every different... They're not classes really, but they are in the presets. But when you make your own character, you don't pick a class. You just choose what weapons to give them, what perks to give them, and what armor to give them. Now, you only get 16 perk points, and every pretty much weapon or piece of armor that is worth anything in this game will require a set number of perk points just to equip it. So you can't just build a kick-ass, ridiculously imber character in this game, but you can have a distinct advantage if you are playing against people who are level 1 and 2 and you're, say, level 5, which is when the big weapons start to unlock, or 5 to 10. And this game broke badly when it released and locked out pretty much everybody on the low levels, including myself. I was level 2 right up until this afternoon. I played 10 hours as level 2, which meant I wasn't able to get to the good armor and weapons. And so I was constantly finding myself getting one-shotted off people who had really big, meaty weapons. So it was kind of annoying, but I think once you kind of get past level 5 and 6, it levels out a little bit more. And also I was coming up against people who were level 15, so the matchmaking was clearly broken as well. As with the servers, with packet loss and high pings spiking around the place. It's been a disastrous launch, this game. Absolutely disastrous. You couldn't even buy anything from the shop with your gold. You weren't even getting gold or XP when you were winning battles or killing people. It was just totally broken. But happily, it seems to be fixed. I've just come out of a game. I got up to level 6. I finally was able to buy a better sword, and it is a lot better now. So it has been fixed, but I never thought that it wouldn't get fixed. But it is fixed now, and it is really good fun. It's the kind of game that you can pick up and play and absolutely enjoy playing it. It is fantastic to play. I mean, a lot of even if you're shit, you can get sneaky kills coming up behind people, stabbing them in the back. Or you can play defensive, you can build structures, and so you can do whatever you want in the game. But it doesn't matter what your skill level, you can play this game, and that's what I like about it. I mean, you'll come across people who are just way better than you. Pretty much half of the server's better than me when I'm playing, but I'm a lot better than a lot of the other half of the server, so I'm able to have fun games. I generally come around mid to top 10, I would say, when I'm playing. And I have some really good, sometimes I do some amazing moves and I think, how the did I manage to do that? It all just kind of comes together. You've got a stamina bar as well, so you have to watch what you're doing because certain things that you do will reduce your stamina. The key things to learn is accelerating your moves and dragging your moves so that it's timing. This whole thing is about timing. It's not one bit clunky, this, guys. It is very, very precise and it is very, very skill based. For example, once you go into a combo, if you're accelerating your combos, it is really hard to get out of the way of them. And when you can parry them, but when you get parried, it knocks you back a little bit as well. So anybody who's on the aggressive, and the meta of the game favours the aggressor, they're probably going to do you in. And it's hard to kind of get the initiative back. You've got to maybe do a riposte. If you can do that, you can get the initiative back. But then it's about capitalizing on the initiative. I'm not that type of player. I'm not an aggressive kind of player. I'm kind of the guy who runs in, gets a good hit, then gets me defenses up straight away. I don't know why I play like that, but I wish I didn't. And I have to kind of get out of that nasty habit that I've had for years when I've been playing these kind of games, because you really need to be very, very aggressive to play this game. It's one of them games where it doesn't matter whether you come top, middle or bottom, you're going to have fun. It's just a fun game to play. Yes, there's issues with the servers. Yes, there's issues with the progression at the minute. I'm pretty sure that will all be fixed very, very soon. It's still worth the money. It's still worth the £20. I've had £20 worth of fun out of this game because I've never laughed so much for years playing a game. So there you go, guys. If you're looking for a really fun sword game that has a lot of depth in the combat, very easy to play but very hard to master, look no further than Mordhau. It is freaking great and definitely worth a buy.